Hey Gym Operator, it's Miles here of Miles More Members, hope you're well. In today's video I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I call the subject of failing forward. For those of you that are in the UK, I have this belief that as a British culture, we're not kind of set up to fail. So my girlfriend, for instance, is a primary school teacher, and I get the impression that the parents of her children are really apprehensive about the idea of her kids their kids failing at school. I've got this real problem with this whole fear of failure thing, right? I get scared. There's a lot of times where I don't always do what I said I was going to do, and always 99 times out of 100 it's a fear of failure. I'm shooting this video to you right now, and I remember a time a few months ago where I wouldn't have even dreamed of getting up in front of a camera and just kind of voicing my thoughts and ideas. I had this limiting belief, a little voice in my head, maybe you can relate, that said, no one's going to want to hear what you've got to say. So I had a go, and I got some nice feedback from people that said that they enjoyed the videos. But the best thing that came from it was all of a sudden this kind of fear of doing it was starting to go. Like, do you remember when you were a kid and you first learned to ride a bike? You were fearless, right? If you're anything like me, you've got the grazed knees, probably the scars to show it from the amount of times you fell off your bike. And when you were a kid, you weren't scared of failing, you just kept getting back on until you could learn to ride. And this just kind of, between school and first jobs, I think somewhere down the line, someone installs this belief in our brains, a lot of us anyway, that failing is bad. And I believe that the only true failure is not attempting to do something in the first place. Like the person who never attempts to achieve their fitness goal, they just stay at home and stay in their comfort zone, right? You all know that, if a person wants to lose weight, they're going to have to get out of their comfort zone. They're going to have to do new things that they haven't currently done. So I've kind of adopted this mantra of failing forward. So right now, today, tomorrow, yesterday, I'm making mistakes. I made a mistake a couple of months ago, it was a really big business fail with a client, it caused me major sleepless nights, right? And a breakdown in the relationship with that client has kind of come about as a result of that. But I know that there's a lot of valuable learnings and lessons that came out of that. And had I not had that experience, I wouldn't have the new learnings I've got, so that moving forward I can serve my current clients and future clients at an even better level. So my feeling is this: I only believe failure happens when we don't attempt something. I actually think that every time we attempt something, if we can remove this myth that we have to succeed, because how many times have you attempted to do something, not got the outcome that you wanted, but you got the outcome that you needed? And in actual fact, the outcome that you needed turned out to be the best thing for you. And when you look back in hindsight, you can go, wow, if that hadn't have happened, this wouldn't have happened. And I can think of so many times in my past where that's happened. So many gym memberships that I've failed to sell. And then the next person that walked in, I had a new learning which enabled me to communicate more effectively. So many times visiting a local corporate, like a massive corporate, to try and clinch a deal to get a cluster of members for a client, for a gym, and failing to do it. Then only going into the next corporate and actually landing a deal for more members than we would have got in the previous one. Or lacking the confidence to pick up the phone and call a potentially big client, and then having the courage to call the next one and it turning into a meeting and turning into a great relationship. Failure is a good thing. You've just got to desensitize yourself from this feeling that failure is bad. The only failure that's bad is if you don't attempt to do something. If you take action, whatever the end result, you're only failing forward. Look, any questions you have about me, Miles More Members, the YouTube channel that you're on now, there's loads of videos like this. I hope that you find them useful. If you do, drop me an email, let me know what you think, miles@milesmoremembers.com. Check out my SoundCloud as well. You'll find my podcast there, weekly podcast. And also check out my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I've got tips and strategies and things like that as well, and Facebook. But for now, have a brilliant day, and I'll speak to you soon. Keep failing